Hello, so in this video I'm going to talk about the first nakshatra, Ashwini. If you have that as your rising, what exactly does it mean for you? If you don't know your rising nakshatra, please enter your date, time and place of birth, and you'd see this symbol next to ascendant in the first house. For in this case, it's going to be AS. Alternatively, you can also check that out in the table next to your birth chart. Now, Ashwini native is going to be very Robin Hood-like, and the prime example is that of Martin Luther King Jr. He has his rising constellation as Ashwini. So an Ashwini native would be very keen to help the society, very keen to heal the society. The individual can have a career directly linked to the healing sector. Alternatively, the individual can be involved in social welfare activities, such was the case in the case of Martin Luther King Jr. He was not simply a politician. He was out there to change something, to make the society better. Secondly, the native would be very passionate, very driven, very competitive. That's a lot to do with Mars' influence. This entire constellation falls in the sign of Aries, ruled by Mars. Secondly, this constellation's ruler is Ketu. So the sign ruler is Mars, the nakshatra ruler is Ketu, so the individual is also going to show Ketu-like qualities. I believe with Ketu's influence, the native would be street smart and also probably would disregard what others are saying. Particularly, for example, in an office environment, if you have your rising as Ashwini, you are going to go ahead and do what you think is right. You're not going to follow the chain of command. You'll disregard that. That's directly linked to Ketu-like behavior. And that is the mythology linked to Ashwini Kumaras. They are known to assist human beings, the mortals, even against the wishes of other gods. That's the mythology, and that's likely to play out in some way in the Ashwini native's life. The individual is offering assistance without worrying about protocol. A horse's head is considered to be one of the symbols of this constellation, and therefore the native would be adventure-seeking, a travel lover, an excellent navigator. The Ashwini Kumaras are known to bring the gifts from heavens to the earthly plane at great speed, and therefore the entire navigation sector, or fondness for speed, the ones involved, for example, in car racing, can have Ashwini as their rising. And the individual can be quite entrepreneurial too, as this constellation belongs to the caste of a merchant. But I think the individual isn't going to make a good team player. The individual would be like, you know what, I can do things independently, like a one-person army. Native can also be quite young-looking, that's linked to Mars, and also how Ashwini Kumaras are described as per mythology. There's another interesting story, the Ashwini Kumaras' fondness for sweets, and therefore the native can have a sweet tooth. So those are some of the findings that I have for a person who has Ashwini as rising. I'm hoping this is useful. This is it. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.